All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I don't know what happened. It seems my stuff crashed, all of it. This hasn't happened in a long time. If you guys can hear me, you guys can see me. Let me know in the chat. YouTube is not letting me back in on my own end. Like it's telling me to re-verify, and my password is not working. So I'm thinking it's probably just like a really heavy glitch, but I don't know. You guys let me know in the chat if you can hear me, you can see me. Antoine just says everything's looking good over on Facebook. Let me know if you all on YouTube can hear me, you can see me. Yeah, it's not letting me back on my. That is so weird. Okay, Roxanne Shante says hear me, see me. Okay, great. Well, we lost our last stream. It's just gone now. I don't know what happened to it, but I was leading to a very fun thing we were about to jump into for you guys, ladies and gentlemen, after we discussed what was going on with Gavin Newsom. So, 7'1" Slims in the chat. This is good for me. Roxanne Shante says YouTube. Well, that's gonna be a major letdown, but I think as we let people back in here, I can introduce you guys to our special guest we have this evening. I was talking about how not only are people being censored on YouTube, Facebook, all sorts of different places, or I meant to say Twitter first, but also YouTube as well. Just in the last 24 hours, Adam Krigler, who is a very large YouTuber, I'm sure a good amount of you know him, has been banned off of YouTube. He received a community guideline strike and cannot post for a week. But just an hour ago, Bryson Gray, who is, as you guys definitely know, is one of the artists behind Let's Go Brandon and also just a major rap artist in the MAGA movement and honestly just overall, was also received a community guideline strike live while on stream. And it just vanished. I don't much like what happened to me, although I'm able to come back, but and I don't think I received a strike, but there are some weird things happening. Either way, I'd like you guys to say hi to Bryson Gray for me once it loads in here. There you go. How you doing, Bryson? Can we hear you? Can we
What's
see you?
happening?
How
Can
you
you
doing,
see
man?
me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I'm
We can see you.
doing I'm doing decent, I guess. Just got a strike. Live, bro. I don't even a liberal that hates me said he doesn't know why I got banned. So I don't know, bro.
Yeah, it's some weird things happening right now. I noticed that other than the times I would get like actual community guideline strikes from YouTube, the times that I do get banished off of YouTube, I don't know if when it happened to you, did your streaming software like freeze or crash on you or anything, or did it just like nothing changed on your side until you saw on YouTube that you were gone?
I was actually just talking regular, but I had my YouTube actually up. So then I saw my YouTube stop, and I was like, what just happened? So my live streaming software OBS kept streaming.
Yeah.
What's fun? What the fun thing about it is yesterday. A lot of people don't know this. So I didn't post about it yesterday. They banned my lyric video for Pride Month, and I appealed it, and then I won the appeal. So this is in the last 48 hours. I've had two things literally banned. I appealed this too. I don't know if I'm gonna win it though. This is
Yeah,
crazy.
and for the people in the chat, I don't know if y'all all know what an appeal is or how difficult it is to win one, but I have lost every single appeal I have ever placed on YouTube. I've received 6 community guideline strikes in my channel's history on YouTube for various different things. I still have my first warning, but I have received 5 more community guideline strikes if my number's correct since then. And I have I've appealed every single one but one, and I have won 0 of these appeals. So it is very difficult. I don't know how
It is.
Bryson's able to do it. He clutched
It was
up in
my
the
first one.
gulag. He
It was
clutched up
my
in
it
the
was my
gulag.
it was my first ever win. You know what's funny? Because I was talking to Forgiato Blow last night when I got banned. I called him. I said, "Bro, it might be over for me, bro. They gave me a strike and everything." And then he was like, appeal it. I was like, "Man, for what? I've lost every appeal." So I
Yeah.
appealed it. Woke up this morning and I actually won the appeal. But bro, this is like there's obviously an attack going on. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So I don't know who's doing it, but it's obviously a bunch of people reporting my stuff trying to get me banned.
Yeah, and I think the attack is so massive. I mean, the attack, of course, on your channel is what you're talking about, but I think the attack overall on all conservatives and all people, I mean, not even just conservatives, even, some of these crazy far leftists that are getting thinned and culled from the herd as well is just really disgusting and scary to see, which is why, talking about the thing with Gavin Newsom is kind of, annoying because, he's getting on Truth Social to cap, but it is kind of powerful in a way that he is endorsing such a platform. I mean, what do you think about that? Gavin Newsom joining Truth Social?
I like it. I don't. Here go my thing. You can't complain about an echo chamber to get mad when the left comes on the platform. We need the left. If you want True Social to be something that's real, then you should want leftists on there. Want these liberals on there, especially because now we're in an even playing field. We can combat ideas without worrying about getting banned. Even though I cannot log into my True Social account right now, but you know.
Wait, so what happened? You've been locked out, or did they lock you out, or it's just like glitched?
I don't. I don't know. It could just be a glitch. I just literally can't log in. People say they still see my account, so
Yeah,
I don't think I'm banned.
yeah, I just went to it. I see it. Last post was 2 days ago. I like
Yeah.
your banner here with just keyword study Bible. I like that. Very powerful. And it, it's a lot of very powerful stuff. But each and every time we try to get out there and really push it, like with the music you're creating, music I'm creating, and kind of like the the commentary, the videos like this, your stream, which probably your stream wasn't even all that controversial, was it? What were you talking about?
I mean, it's the regular stuff I talk about. I don't know what that sound is coming from my computer, but I was talking to the LGBT community per usual, but they said bullying and harassment. Who did I bully? Who did I harass? I even censored myself a little bit. Instead of saying my favorite T word, I used the correct term transgender. I even took it a step, to make sure I don't get banned.
Yeah.
So I mean, now just simply talking about the group in a negative way can get you banned for bullying. Who was I bullying and harassing? Who was I harassing, bro?
Yeah, 7171 Slim says they hate the truth. Rebecca says, so great to see Bryson and Chandler. I learned about both of you from Tatum, which is really cool. She also says they're
Cool.
scared of the midterms, which is I think it's a big thing, but I also think it's this Pride Month. It's the time when all these different people kind of get together and they're sort of deciding who is and who isn't permissible, for the rest of the year. Because the LGBT Pride Month isn't the only time they're vesting their power. It's just the time where they're the most public about it. At all other times of which they're operating, they're watching and they're waiting. They've got they got the GLAAD awards and all these different things. They're pushing it on cartoons and television shows for children, and now we're seeing with the drag shows, which aren't a new thing. I've been talking about these since like 2019 with Desmond is Amazing, and it's just kind of becoming even more mainstream now as they vest their power further and further. I think it's really clear to see that this is how they gather together and coming at us not just electorally but also culturally, striking down you and other people that are heavily involved in the culture, and are really accelerating that branch of it so that we can regain these traditional values is how they get at it first. But I think they're going to push even further for it.
Of course, I keep telling people the Bible will be getting banned soon.
Yeah.
And I know that from experience because when I got my final ban on TikTok, it was literally me reading the Bible on live. I got banned once again. I got banned while I was live on TikTok. I had 5,000 people watching on TikTok, and I got banned for literally reading the Bible. That's all I was doing, reading the Bible. So everything is gonna get worse. And people need to prepare for it. Put on the full armor of God, and don't stop. Don't be scared.
I think that's so very true, Bryson. I don't want to hold you for too long. I want to give you a big thank you for coming on the show today. Really looking forward to seeing what you've got coming next. I heard you talking about a song you're going to be releasing tonight. Tell the audience a little bit about what's that about and where they can find it.
Well, I have a song releasing at midnight, obviously called Kingdom at Hand, very biblical. Which is why I'm afraid it might get banned. My whole page, my whole YouTube might get gone soon. But the thing is, I know you said it won't release tomorrow, but I'm just hoping it slips through and it still releases tomorrow on YouTube. If not, it'll be on Rumble noon. I'm uploaded on band.video. And where else I can upload it, I might upload the whole thing on Instagram. I mean, you just never know. I don't know. I just got to post where I can now.
Yep. Don Troches says fire track. Rebecca Kaplan says, I guess the Bible is transphobic too. And Hip Hop Thinker says hashtag Kingdom at Ham. I think it's Kingdom at Hand, not Ham. I think it's going to be a great thing to push. So I'm really excited for that. Thank you so much for joining us here, Bryce. And we had a great time.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me on, bro.
Of course. Peace out, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. Want to give a big thank you, big shout out to Bryson for joining us live today. I know that the live stream got chopped really weirdly right as I was about to bring Bryson on, which is so frustrating, so very frustrating. But thank you to everybody who came back onto the stream, and to those we lost, I'm sorry. I truly am, because I was really looking forward to showing that to y'all. But either way, big thank you, big shout out to everybody who's tuning in. We've got so much more to jump into, so let's keep the show going. Gavin Newsom joining True Social. Bryson thinks it's cool. I think it's really cool, powerful. Obviously, he's not in it for conservatives. He's not in it for free speech. He's just in it to make some sort of political point. And I think that's the best we could expect from Gavin Newsom, and probably the best we could expect from a career Democrat like him. But either ways, pushing forward, I want to talk about right-wing politics just a little bit, just a smidge, and a little bit more on that cultural side of addressing and seeing just where we are and where it's going to get us. Dr. Oz is now the confirmed Republican nominee for Senate in Pennsylvania. Now, is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Well, I'm going to try to be as non-biased about it. But obviously, you guys know I wasn't a big fan of Dr. Oz. I was a great fan of Kathy Barnett, as were many other right-wing folks. But unfortunately, she was not able to swing just enough votes for it to even push it to close up to them. So it was just between McCormick and Oz, and at that point, who cares? So Oz got it. McCormick conceded. So now we get to see how people think Oz will stack up to the other guy. I'm slipping his name. Fetterman. That's what it is. Let's check into this. Oh, whoops. I guess that's gone. Here we go. Let me refix this so you guys can see. There you go. Early midterm poll has dire news for Pennsylvania Republicans. Not good. Not good. Pennsylvania Republican candidates for the midterm trail their Democratic opponents even as voters overwhelmingly disapprove of Biden. Television host Dr. Oz, the state's Republican Senate nominee, has 37% of the vote, trailing Lieutenant Governor and Democratic Senate nominee John Fetterman, who has 46% of the polled vote, according to USA Today Network and Suffolk University poll. Meanwhile, 30% of respondents currently have not made up their minds. Despite expressing pessimism over their state's economic prospects and dissatisfaction with President Biden's job performance, Pennsylvania voters continue to support the Democratic candidate in a key race that could tip the balance of power in the U.S. Senate. Oz narrowly prevailed over David McCormick, a former Bush administration official and hedge fund executive, after the latter conceded. The two candidates finished within 1,000 votes of one another in the primary election. In the gubernatorial, Senator Doug Mastriano trails Democratic Attorney General Josh Shapiro with 40 to 44 of the vote, respectively. As with the Senate race, 13% were currently undecided. The results are surprising given that Pennsylvania simultaneously disapprove of Biden by a 54 to 39 margin. More than half of the electorate say they want their vote in November to change the direction in which Biden is leading. Even with Democratic Party registration dwindling in Pennsylvania, both Fetterman and Shapiro are adopting a more populist, quote-unquote, approach to midterm voters and winning independents. Voters say they are unhappy with the economy in Pennsylvania and Biden's job. Yet these particular Democrats are threading the needle thus far. Indeed, more Pennsylvanians have a pessimistic outlook on the economy in comparison to the 2018 midterms. The portion of voters characterizing economic conditions as poor quadrupled since those 4 years, from 12% to 45%, and only 1% of the voters describe the economy as excellent. I think that 1% phrasing is very powerful in regards to just how crazy this mess is getting. People are sick and tired of Democrats and sick and tired of Joe Biden, but in Pennsylvania, they just don't believe that Dr. Oz is enough to tip the scales, in their opinion. And I don't know too much about Doug Mastriano. I don't really know him that well as a candidate. I haven't been paying much attention to his race, but they don't believe in him as much either, which is very, very telling for how things might just go. I was going to run a quick message from a sponsor a minute ago, and that's what crashed my stream, so I'm going to be very careful and just try it one last time. If it crashes me again, we won't try it again. We'll be right back. Hey freethinkers, Chandler here, and welcome to the brand new one-of-a-kind commercial break. Here on the Chandler Crump channel, we pride ourselves on straight-talking nature, adherence to facts, resistance to media programming, and a loyalty to the red, white, and blue, above all. These live shows are what I consider to be my job, and I only get paid on tips around here. So if you think I've done a good job or want to encourage me to do even better, then check out the description of this video and go to donorbox.org/support-Chandler. This is our donation processor and the one-stop shop to support all things Chandler. If you choose to, you can even have your name appear on stream to flaunt that you support our show. This is of course the illustrious Hall of Heroes bar above me. Another path to the Hall of Heroes is of course Cash App. My Cash App code is $ChandlerCR and is visible on every one of my streams. Thank you guys so much. Now, let's get back to the show. So, to join the Hall of Heroes, all your options are available down below. Thankfully, that didn't kill my stream this time. Either way, thank you guys so much, and to everybody who has supported me in the past or is considering doing it in the future. But unfortunately, it seems like no matter how much money we throw at these big theater companies like Disney and Pixar, they aren't going to actually fight for you. No, they're going to fight for their Pride Month LGBT agenda. And if you're cool and down with that, then I doubt you're watching this show right now. But if you aren't, and you are watching me as you are right now, then we have to check in on the funny thing that is happening. Because when you go woke, eventually you go broke. Or the other phrase that Trump says that I'm not allowed to say. Hey, my mom watches these shows. But anyways, countries are censoring the new Buzz Lightyear movie over a same-sex kiss scene. It's not the first time that Disney has faced LGBTQ backlash, purportedly. Let's check in on what countries these are. Now, Lightyear, which opens in the US and global markets on Friday, stars Chris Evans and tells the tale of the astronaut behind Toy Story character Buzz Lightyear. It features a character named Alicia Hawthorne, voiced by Uzu Aduba. Oh, I've heard her voice before. Who is in a relationship with another woman. As a result of the LGBTQ plus CDEFG content, the movie has been banned or censored in several countries across the globe. On Monday, the agency in control of media censorship in the United Arab Emirates announced on Twitter that Lightyear violated the country's media content standards and is not licensed for public screening. Film censorship agencies in Malaysia and Indonesia have flagged the movie for review. In Singapore, the film has been approved only for audiences over 16. According to the agency in charge of media regulation in the country. While it is an excellent animated film set in the US context, Singapore is a diverse society where we have multiple sensibilities and viewpoints, said Cheryl Ng, who is a chair of the country's Films Consultative Panel. This being a children's cartoon, a significant number of FCP members felt that overt depiction of same-gender marriage would warrant a higher rating. The live-action Beauty and the Beast, which also showed two male characters dancing, was banned in Kuwait when it came out in 2017. Onward from 2020, which showed a lesbian cyclops that utters the phrase "it gets better," was banned in several Middle Eastern countries. And last year's Eternals, in which a male character has a husband, was banned in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Kuwait. Disney has recently positioned itself as supportive of LGBT rights. After initially refusing to comment on Florida's Don't Say Gay bill, the company faced a wave of criticism from employees and consumers. The entertainment giant has then reversed its position, to which Governor Ron DeSantis responded by railing Disney as a woke corporation and initiating a special session of Florida's Congress to revoke their special land use privileges. Although the company has depicted same-sex relationships in its films in the past, Disney has not always proved itself to be a strong ally with the LGBT community and its fans. Executives at the company allegedly cut Lightyear's same-sex scene at first, only to add it back following backlash in March, according to a report from Variety. Well, it seems Disney is going to have to pay the price. Not that there were probably going to be many people in Singapore and Dubai watching this movie, but it still would have net them a good coin. But you know what? I don't think they care because they've made more than enough money in their woke ideology. In fact, I'm sure they've made so many of their LGBTQI, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, K, L, M, N, O, P, and Q, R, S, T, U, V, and W, X, and Y, and Z people so happy, right? I had to make the alphabet rap for you guys right there to really get to you guys about this. But now it's time we thread the needle past Disney and past the culture and back to politics, because as is politics downstream from culture, so is it in thread. So let's thread the needle a little further. Reporters are pressing Karine Jean-Pierre about Biden touting his pride credentials as he plans to visit Saudi Arabia, which is definitely a country of which pride credentials won't get you a feast. No, they will get you feasted on with stones. Anyways, let's jump into this. Daily Mail senior U.S. political reporter Rob Crilly pressed White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre during Wednesday's press briefing on which President Joe Biden's dedication toward the LGBT community was discussed in intending to visit Saudi Arabia. President Joe Biden is expected to visit Saudi Arabia in mid-July to discuss issues on expanding regional economic and security cooperation, human rights, and ensuring global energy and food security. Crilly pressed Jean-Pierre on Biden's dedication to supporting the LGBTQIAB, we won't do it anymore, community, while planning to assist a country that is allegedly cracking down on the community. Saudi Arabian officials have seized rainbow-colored toys and clothing, saying they encourage and promote homosexuality. We know that Saudi officials have been seizing rainbow-colored toys and clothing as part of an apparent crackdown on it in the country. Let's hear it from the horse's mouth.
Get Comcast.
Oh, wow, I'm actually getting served an ad. That is surprising. No free advertising, so we're gonna mute this as we let this pass. How long is this ad gonna be? All right, it's almost done. Come on, guys. We'll be just a second. Just a second. Be patient. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. It's worth the wait. Another one? Okay, we're not watching this. Either way, big stuff happening. Let me see if I can find like a link to it or something so I can watch it just directly on Rumble, because I don't. Yeah, okay, it's just not gonna work. All right. Well, anyways, it's a big thing happening. I guess we won't get to listen to it because this is the third ad they've served me. So big thank you to the Daily Caller for that one and Rumble. But it is big things happening with Karine Jean-Pierre actually being directly asked, listen, Biden is about to go to Saudi Arabia and he's talking about pride? Are you serious? Let me see if I can look it up myself over here on Rumble and get it for you guys. Karine Jean-Pierre pride. Let's see if we can. There you go. Here you go. Awesome. And now we just gotta unmute it. There you go.
Saudi officials have been seizing rainbow-coloured toys and clothing as part of an apparent crackdown on homosexuality in the country there. That's according to state-run media. I wonder what the White House response is to that, given that the president's about to set up his Pride credentials in the next event.
So I have not seen that reporting, but what I can say globally, we work around the globe to protect LGBTQI plus persons from violence and abuse, criminalization, discrimination, and stigma, and empower local LGBTQI plus movements and persons. We do this through bilateral and multilateral channels, raising official concerns with governments, both principal and privately, coordinating our efforts with like-minded countries, and offering emergency assistance to LGBTQI plus persons at risk. Through our foreign assistance programming, we support civil society in providing LGBTQI plus individuals. And
I don't think I've ever heard the phrase LGBTQIA plus in one answer in so many times. I can barely listen to what she's saying.
Communities with tools and resources to prevent, mitigate, and recover from violence, discrimination, and stigma. We see human rights as being universal. I'm going to take one last.
Yeah, she was just reading a script. She wasn't even going off the top. She wasn't actually discussing anything new. It was just, if they ask you anything about LGBT in Saudi Arabia, say this, and she's like, yes, Kamala Harris, because obviously it's not Joe Biden that's advising her, and I don't know who their communications director is. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, because it's all coming down from the top. It's all coming down from those that are in charge and those that are running things, and it's clear to see they aren't on your side. It's a big gang, and we aren't in it. We aren't in it.
Nope.
We're not in it.
Yep.
We're not in it.
Nope.
Are we in it?
Nope.
No, but seriously, this is where we are right now. And yet, this is what is being promoted, because as they are pushing to accept homosexuality in the Middle East, or at least Biden is going there and might just decide to drop a dime and talk about it, this is how it's being promoted here in the West, because as you guys know, you draw the line here, and you let them push the line here, we draw the line here, we let them push it back, and next thing you know, it's drag story time at the zoo. Instead of seeing animals, they're seeing different types of animals. Let's check in. On Saturday, June 11th, the Toronto Zoo held an event called Drag Queen Story Time, and it was indeed hosted by two drag queens. The event was an hour long where, quote-unquote, Tiffany and Aaron each read animal-themed children's stories with the goal of teaching inclusion, diversity, self-love, and respect for others.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Come on. The Toronto Zoo hosted a Drag Time Story Hour for children to teach lessons. I attended the event to see for myself and exactly what they were telling children.
Because it doesn't matter if you love a girl bunny or a boy bunny, or eat your sandwich backward or forward.
'Cause I'm stupid.
It's butts, and I don't know why. Ask first. Ask for permission. Always ask for permission. Consent is mandatory. Everyone is different, and different is not bad, said Scooter, who's a turtle. Different is special. Lots of chicks have a mom and a dad, but some of us have two moms instead. One stays with me at the nest, and the other flies off to find food in the warm waves. Then they switch. We are family, chick, parents, and love. Now we have some of my favorite animals here. What animal is this? We got the penguins!
Oh, that's my favorite animal too. I love penguins. No, not the no.
Nope.
Not the penguins, dude. Those are my favorite animals. Penguins, you know, they waddle around. They look so cute. They're black and white. It's adorable, sometimes yellow. But come on, man. For the children? Because I guarantee you. Well, actually, I don't know. If I was 5 years old and I was sitting in this audience, I don't know if I'd be freaked out or if I'd just be trying to keep quiet and not talk about what I'm seeing. But I'm sure even 5-year-old me would have just been so... Because this doesn't... YouTube, this doesn't look right, okay? Like, from the ground up. I don't even know what that face is. And this one, it looks like this one has a beard. What are we talking about? What are we doing? For the children. The little boys and girls saying penguins. I could have been one of those little boys and girls saying penguins too, because I've loved penguins since I was young. And this is what they're pushing. Is this right?
Nope.
Do we want to make this stop?
Yep.
I don't know. Would they listen? I don't want to listen anymore. Roughly 75 to 100 people that attended, all showing support for Pride season by wearing rainbow clothing and accessories. The two drag performers were wearing tight clothes, lots of makeup, and high heels. It is interesting that the story time was hosted outdoors on loudspeakers at the Toronto Zoo, a place where hundreds of children will be exposed to hearing these messages, whether they chose to attend the event or not. Tiffany and Aaron, supposedly, both actively engage with the audience, interacting with children by asking questions and getting them to agree with statements such as, "We support our friends with different gender expressions," right?
Nope.
Is it stupid?
Yep.
What's disturbing is how this story time is being treated like it's an event with innocent performers, much like how Princess or a magician would be hired for a children's birthday party, except drag queens are not appropriate for children. What happened to letting kids be kids? What happened into teaching them real-life lessons and traditional values that will help them excel in the future, instead of planting ideas that will damage them psychologically in the long run? Teaching children at a young age that they are possibly born in the wrong body and that their gender is something that should be questioned only leads to confusion. And it's true. It's true. Diamond R says they're working hard to get the devil's agenda out. We need to get God's agenda out. Susanna says, men with men doing that which is filthy. Thickrist says, you mean Steve and Bob. And he also says, stop the cap. I got you.
Stop the cap.
So true. So true. Roxanne Shante says, nope. Nope. And Thickrist says, communists aren't humans. I'm glad to see a lot more of our usual audience back in the building. I'm trying to see if I can look on YouTube, but I've been locked out of my own channel. I can't look at it from my own end right now. Okay, I think I'm back in, because I've been wanting to take a peek and see how things are doing after our last show was cut down. I don't know what happened, but either way, plenty of stuff. All of this comes amid a general push and wave during this Pride Month to normalize more and more things. Drag shows here, drag shows there, drag time story hour, and as we talked about a minute ago with Bryson Gray, I've been discussing these things for a long time with Desmond is Amazing all the way back in 2019. But here, now we have a president that makes it his #1 goal to push this further. On your children, in your culture, on your TVs, and in your schools, in your communities, in your public libraries, at your zoos. It doesn't matter. Because Joe Biden just signed a new executive order to fight quote-unquote anti-LGBTQ state bills. So for instance, if you live in Florida or Georgia or some other state where their governors have proudly proclaimed and gone through various chambers of power, whether it be executive or even through their legislative branches, to outlaw transgender athletes, outlaw drag queen story hour at your local high school, local elementary school, and public library, and have worked to mitigate this effect on children, well, they have declared themselves an enemy of the President of the United States, I guess. The order aims to expand access to gender-affirming care and advance LGBT-inclusive learning environments at American schools. President Joe Biden signed an executive order Wednesday aimed at combating a historic number of anti-LGBTQ bills introduced in state legislatures across the country. The order will direct federal health and education agencies to expand access to gender-affirming care and advance LGBTQ inclusive learning environments at American schools. It will also curb federal funding for the debunked practice of conversion therapy, which nearly every leading U.S. medical association has condemned. The president's order comes during LGBT Pride Month and advocates as advocates fight against a record number of anti-LGBT bills introduced in states across the country this year, more than 320, according to the Human Rights Campaign. We're in a battle for the soul of this nation, the president said to a group of LGBT activists. And when I look around this room here and at all of you today, it's a battle I know we will win. My message to all the young people, just be you, and make sure you
rub my leg down.
And remember that you are loved. Especially if you
rub my leg down.
And if you even question whether you're for me or for Trump, then
you ain't black.
You are understood. You do belong. I want you to know that as your president, all of us on this stage have your back. Get vaccinated. I had to pull out the Biden whisper at the end because that's just what he does. A bulk of the bill signed into law in recent months, 24 in 13 states, according to the HRC, aim to limit access to gender-affirming care for transgender youth, prohibit trans girls and women from contributing and competing in girl sports teams in school, and bar the instruction of LGBT issues in school. Under the executive order, a coordinating committee will also be established to lead efforts across federal agencies to strengthen the collection of data on orientation and identity. Because what's the last thing? And by last thing, I mean the first thing you want the government to know about your child? Well, it's their identity and their orientation after all, because, well, they've obviously got one, right? It doesn't matter if they're 4 years old and all they care about is seeing how cute those penguins are running at the local aquarium. But doesn't that quaint penguin have a daddy and another daddy? Or a mommy and another mommy? Or a fairy face self and a tree self parent as well? Well, the child better get access to all the information they need. And if the child is confused and the child thinks, well, I think I'm a penguin too, then we're going to put them in the doctor's office, cut off their arms, and restructure them into fins, tape them back to their bodies, paint them white and black with a little speckle of yellow at the top of them, and push them back out in the field and say, you are a penguin now. Now go hunt for some fish and make sure you run out and stay far away from them dang polar bears, because those polar bears are, of course, white supremacists. That's my two things. That's my two cents here on the Thinker Show. Thinker says, I wonder. Never mind. I'm not reading that one. Mbib says, where is the reset button? So true. So true. Susanna says, look, seems like we need to cover the problem which recently afflicted Justin Bieber. That's a clot shot side effect. Ooh, there you go. There you go. So much stuff happening. The clot shot, the expansion of the LGBT onto more and more things. President Biden signing, I should say, I'm losing all track here, signing more executive orders to push it onto your children and defend it from any opponents of it. It's clear to see we're in a very particular position of it right now. The question is, where will we go from here? Well, it all depends on November. It all depends on the culture. It all depends on amazing people like Bryson Gray to stand up and fight back in the culture and wherever else they can. And it takes young people to get out there as well and be like, listen, you know, I may be open to this and this, but I'm seeing what they're doing to young people. I'm seeing what they're doing to people that are around my age. And I'm not saying I'm saying this, but I'm saying like a Gen Z person who's a little bit more open-minded about this type of thing simply because that's just what they were growing up and groomed to accept. But now we have to see if they're willing to look at outside of themselves, look at the community and see, okay, this is starting to get crazy. I'm supportive of the LGBTQIA plus community, but at the very least, we should defend the children. That might be the average Gen Z sentiment. Who knows? We'll have to see what happens as time goes on. I want to give a big thank you and shout out to everybody who has stayed tuned into the show today. I really appreciate all of y'all. Big thank you to everybody who has donated to support the show in the past. Thank you to everybody who smashed the like button on the show, even though this is our second time doing the show. I really appreciate you guys. Once again, if you're interested in supporting our show and my ability to bring it to you, then make sure you check out all of our donation options available in the description below, and also consider a Cash App donation as well. It's all available right there. And briefly before we go, the best way to stand up against all this, whether it be this gender madness, is to rock your culture. Rock what you know is true. And if you want to rock out there, make sure you look good. Make sure you go to chandlercrump.com and check out the various merchandise options we have available for you all today, including the newly refreshed Arrest Fauci for Killing Puppies line, which is now in black. So you can get it. It's labeled white, but that's like the text is white. But you can now get stickers, you can now get mugs, you can now get shirts, all of it now on black shirts. So if you want to get that, it's all available in the description below. If you want to proclaim to everybody that we want to and need to arrest Fauci for what he did to those puppies, then it is now available at chandlercrump.com, and then just hit merchandise. We also now have a brand new Vax Rebel mug, so if you're willing to proclaim to the world, even as you take a nice sip of those liberal tears, that you are indeed a rebel, then make sure you go to chandlercrump.com and check it all out today. And make sure you use code GASPRICES for free shipping. That code will only work until July 1st, so make your purchases now while you can still get free shipping, and we can maybe put the bill on some big company like Teespring to pay for the shipping. Just make sure you use code GASPRICES. Thank you so much to everybody who has tuned in. I really appreciate it. All y'all. Freedom Music says MAGA Gang. Diamond R says Spiritual Warfare, y'all. Thick Chris says Cheesy Grin. Thank you. Really appreciate all of y'all. Thank you guys so much. We'll be back here next Monday at 4 p.m. for our twice weekly show we do on Mondays and Wednesdays, the Chandler Brief. And of course, we also go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8. So Tuesdays, Thursdays, 8, Mondays, Wednesdays, 4. Keep that in mind, and you'll never miss a show again. Big shout out to our folks watching over on Rumble as well. I appreciate y'all. Andrew Corbell. Since when's that you, Steve Harvey, gave a shout out to? I don't believe so. I don't think I have anything to do with Steve Harvey. And also to my people over on Gitter as well. Although I think my Gitter stream might have died when my YouTube stream did. Or no, I think it's still going. Okay. Shout out to my folks over on Gitter. Let's see if I have any chat messages to catch up on. All right. So shout out to all y'all. Thank you guys so much. We'll be back next Monday. And aside from all that, I'll catch you next time, free thinkers. Don't forget to spread the virus of intelligence. Peace.
Will the fly